Men of Reddit. What is your favorite quote? Something you really live by or something that has always stuck to you. Mine is kinda basic but I live by it. You miss every shot you don't take. Or, the man that loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination. Edit. Wow. I was not expecting this much great quotes. Thank you guys. We judge ourselves by our intentions, but others by their actions. Bees don't waste time telling flies that honey is better than shit. Never miss an opportunity to shut the fuck up. Some thread on Reddit one time. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. George Bernard Shaw. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forward. If you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. Slite. The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. When you're up, it's never as good as it seems, and when you're down you never think you'll be up again, but life moves on. Remember that Ray Liotta playing George Young's father in Blow. Friends are like boobs. Some are big, some are small. Some are soft, some are hard. But most importantly, some are real, and some are fake. My dad. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. When you were born, you cried and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. Cherokee proverb I also like, it is better to have less thunder in your mouth and more lightning in your hands. Apache proverb. A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. Think of how stupid the average person is, and realize half of them are stupider than that. George Carlin. A society grows when old men plant trees under which they know they'll never sit. Long ago I heard, two of the most hurtful words in an argument are always never. As in you always do something, or why are you never something. Neither word is accurate and only serve to hurt the other person. More recently, and very helpful in career management, don't be the smartest person in the room. Not entirely true. Before our divorce my wife and I went to couples therapy, with a therapist who was famous for never having anyone that went to her therapy end up getting divorced. One of my complaints was that my wife never compromised. And I mean never. I gave a long list of incidents in which I compromised, and then offered an equally long list where she had every opportunity to do so, but ultimately refused to do so. The therapist asked my wife to give some examples of when she had compromised. She couldn't list a single instance. And this was something she was sent home to think about, and come back the next week with something. We had lived together for 7 years before we got married, were married for 13 years, and she couldn't come up with a single issue that had arisen between us, where she compromised. In every single instance she got her way. We were apparently the very first ever couple for this particular therapist, to ever get divorced. Self-discipline is the best form of self-love. I've always struggled to love myself, and when I read that for the first time it really stuck with me. Still have ways to go to meet my goals, but understanding that has been a life-changer for me. If you always put limits on everything you do, physical or anything else, it will spread into your work and into your life. There are no limits. There are only plateaus, and you must not stay there, you must go beyond them. Bruce Lee. This too shall pass. One of the hardest decisions you will face in life is whether to walk away or try harder. Lots of them. He who dares not offend cannot be honest. Thomas Paine. This one has been my email tagline for about 20 years. Every man dies, but not every man truly lives. William Wallace is quoted in Braveheart. After a time, you may find that, having, is not nearly so pleasing a thing as, wanting. It is not logical, but it is often true. Spock, Star Trek. It is possible to make no mistakes and still lose. That is not weakness, that is life. Picard, Star Trek. Lots of others too long to post. ETA. Education is what is left after you've forgotten everything you've learned. Albert Einstein. How we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives. All you have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to you. Gandalf. When you build in silence, people don't know what to attack. When you do things right, people won't be sure you've done anything at all. If you hit every shot you take, you're standing too close to the net. Mine is a toast. May we always be on our way to hell, but never actually arrive. I do not know who to credit, I only know the toast. Surround yourself with the dreamers and the doers, the believers and thinkers, but most of all, surround yourself with those who see the greatness within you, even when you don't see it yourself. Edmund Lee. Every great accomplishment starts with the decision to try. JFK. I use this whenever I'm psyching myself up to go talk to a pretty girl. I'm yet to actually get a great accomplishment from following this advice, but I'm sure I will someday. Change is not always growth, but growth is often rooted in change. Edit. Should include it is from Drizzt Do'Urden, R.A. Salvatore. You've survived 100% of your bad days, why give up now? We act as though comfort and luxury were the chief requirements of life, when all that we need to make us really happy is something to be enthusiastic about. Charles Kingsley. If it has to be done, a man, a real man, shoots his own dog himself. He doesn't hire a proxy who may bungle it. Robert A. Heinlein. The man who passes sentence should swing the sword. Damn guys, your vets are hardcore. Going to the vet tomorrow to find out if it's my boy's day. IDK how old he is. He was a street dog, but we've been together 14 years, so this one hits deep. But in the broader meaning, intention, as far as accepting the burden for things that are your responsibility, I agree with as well. Outside of a dog, a book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dog it's too dark to read. Groucho Marx. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow men. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. I came from a very small town that's still very racist. The type of towns that are still separated by railroad tracks. This is my favorite and unfortunately still applies by Mark Twain. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all one's lifetime. In a society of sheep, wolves, and sheepdogs, choose to be the rhinoceros. The rhino eats no one, but no one eats the rhino.